What's up, everyone? It is your boy NitroBlivion back here with yet another video today. I am giving you my review and opinions and thoughts about the latest episode of Friday Night SmackDown that happened in London, UK, the good old United Kingdom today, January 16, 2026, on a lovely Friday afternoon. To be honest, I love the international start times. It's refreshing. Like I said, it's past couple episodes of WWE reviews. I said that in the Raw and SmackDown review for the episodes prior. I do like the earlier start times. It's refreshing. I wouldn't say more fast paced because it's still the same time, but like you don't feel sleepy and drowsy afterwards, and you still want to, something done. So I really appreciate that. I can only do that to the thankful VPN. I love VPN. If you live not internationally, you live in the Americans, I highly suggest get yourself a VPN. But now onwards, we start tonight's episode with Drew McIntyre, the brand new Undisputed Champion, coming out to grace us with a generous, amazing, immaculate, sweetest tradition bag opening. They give a bag entrance for Drew McIntyre. I kind of wish there was Broken Dreams, low-key slap. I love Broken Dreams. At least they played Broken Dreams back at the Clash 2022 spot. I digress. But yeah, our new champion comes out with a backpack and a pipe entrance. May I just say, Drew McIntyre looks legitly badass with the championship. I feel like the gold big W fits Drew very well. I mean, when he held the World Heavyweight Championship for a brief second at 40, he did look pretty dang good with that belt as well. But something about the gold W just suits him even more, in my opinion. But I digress. After you had Drew come out, give me a brief promo against how where was the crowd for him back when he needed crowd. Now the crowd wants to jump on the bandwagon because Drew is cool and he doesn't like that. Randy Orton comes out and interrupts Drew McIntyre. They have a few back promos, and Randy, ultimately respect Drew, so he never RKO'd Drew, even though the crowd kept on chanting RKO, RKO, RKO. In the midst, you had Jacob Fatu interrupting Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre because of what happened last week on SmackDown, where Jacob Fatu interrupted the steel cage match and beat down both Drew and Cody and caused Drew to win by climbing out of the steel cage match. Well, the three stages of no match, but no matter, stipulation was steel cage. I digress. After all that was going on, and that basically set up for a tournament that was going to happen throughout the show. You had Mike Midzana versus Randy Orton. That was basically setting up a tournament and plus the Randy Orton match that was kicking off the show with Randy versus the Miz. Randy ultimately ends up beating the Miz. Again, no surprise, because for the past 2 weeks we saw Randy RKOing the Miz straight flat to the mat. And I mean, the Miz these days and age is a glorified jobber. He even recently admitted to being a glorified jobber on a recent episode of the CBB podcast. I really enjoyed that. A really good listen. It was a really good podcast. I digress again. Randy Orton picks up first victory of the tournament, leading but that leads on to a wonderful tag team. That leads on to a promo segment between the promo segment that featured the Wyatt Six doing their usual creepy stuff on the TV. And you had Bo Dallas there, more like brother. I guess they're having Bo Dallas channel in more of that Bray Wyatt-ism. I guess, I don't know. I don't care really for it. I feel like it'd be better if Bo did his own thing, but at the same time, I get it. Bo wanted to pay homage to his brother Bray Wyatt, so I guess a transfusion of Bo Dallas character / Uncle Howdy and Bray Wyatt together with maybe more interesting chemistry of a storyline, I guess. That does also set up for a tag team match later on. Well, not later on, but a tag team match will happen next week on SmackDown. I'm very excited. That leads into speaking about tag team matches, that leads into a tag team match between the team of Charlexa versus Julia and Kiana James. It was a very great match, I guess. Semi-quick match, but maybe it was okay. I mean, I really like the pairing of Charlexa, where I find it funny where the entire internet is clamoring and asking the question when Charlexa going to split up and break apart and not be together anymore. On the other hand, I really enjoyed Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss's chemistry, and I find their friendship and I guess romance, whatever you want to call it, romance, just the tag team friendship. I find it very, very affectionate friendship. It's written like that, but at the same time, I enjoy the chemistry and on-screen characters that Charlotte Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss both great. And even in the tag team match, we had Alexa Bliss using a Sister Abigail of the Wyatt Six. That, you know, they had a promo before this match. Very interesting that Alexa Bliss used Sister Abigail. I digress again. We move on to a really outstanding match between Trick Williams and Matt Cardona for the second overall placement matches in the Fatal 4-Way that's going to be happening later on, but next week I decided a event for Thought as Drew Undisputed Championship. This match was excellent. I enjoyed it. It is amazing to have Matt Cardona back on the main roster, and he has a new theme song. It was, in my opinion, I liked it. It was okay. It wasn't bad. But yeah, I just like having Matt Cardona back on the main roster. It's amazing having the woo-woo. It's dead, but it's still surreal seeing him back in WWE. I don't think he's go. No, he didn't. No, I mean Trick Williams beat him, but I don't think he's gonna have a shot at a championship. Maybe, but I could see him maybe doing like challenging for the United States Championship at Mania 42. I could definitely see him being at Mania 42, challenging for the U.S. Championship. But as most people theorized and speculated, Matt Cardona seems that he's going to be not a tweener, but like I guess a tweener slash a worker for the new generation to bring the new generation up. And a lot of people speculated that. I mean, one, Matt Cardona's been there before, and two, Matt Cardona's age, up in the age. But at the time he is, or was known as the Indy God, not really the Indy God no more because he's back in the mainstream, baby. Speaking of Matt Cardona, after he left, Matt, everybody's favorite internet sensation has finally came back to the SmackDown screen. Yes, I am talking about Kit Wilson. Kit Wilson's theme song is an ultimate banger pop, and I loved it. I really hope Kit Wilson doesn't get fired, let go future endeavors soon. It seems like he's going to be maybe a jobber, or at least a jobber for the main event scenario. And I say main event scenario, even though he's out here being like, oh man, all you guys are toxic masculinity, blah 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 blah. But the reason why I say main event scenario is Jacob Fatu came out and interrupted Kit Wilson and basically laid Kit Wilson out. But the fact that Jacob Fatu was the one that came out to interrupt Kit Wilson, and no sponsored by Nitro Eats. What I mean by Nitro Eats, back to food, but Nitro Eats is a lot more funner than Factory. It's pre-prep meal that is saying goodbye to the kitchen. Who wants to cook in 2025 anymore? I don't, and that's why I use Factory. You should too. Factory is pre-prep meals that are made easily by their own chefs from their own kitchen, and now you too can eat Factor by using my promo code that I will supply on screen now, and also in the description down below. Factor Foods. Also with the promo code of Factor Foods, you get 50% off your first order, and also a free year supply of breakfast completely for free. So, in the link in the description, and use the promo code on screen now. Factor Foods, they're good eat. And no one on, the mid card or something. It makes me wonder, are they going to skyrocket to the main event scene and leading a jobber for the main event scene just because of his internet popularity with his new theme song? I wonder. Speaking about Jacob Fatu, we had yet another Cody Rhodes segment. I said yet another. I did forget to mention, Cody Rhodes came out earlier in the show. Let's talk about how he wants to face Jacob Fatu at Saturday night's main event, and he wants to call out and talk to Jacob Fatu, yada yada. Funny enough, Cody Rhodes came out in a suit, makes me question why, because he's not champion anymore. But whatever. But yeah, Jacob Fatu comes out and then calls out Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes music hit, and Cody Rhodes comes out running in a regular track jacket and uniform and tank top. He's not in a suit anymore. He's in his semi-battle gear, and he basically goes from Jacob. They have the run off promo. They bust out into a giant open brawl. I think this all just comes out. Not too sure. But that does set up an official match for next week, Saturday night, main of Jacob Fatu versus Cody. In my opinion, that match is going to be an excellent banger in my opinion. I think Cody Rhodes is going to win the match because Cody Rhodes is like WWE second or slash new golden child. So I can definitely see Cody Rhodes pinning Jacob Fatu. In my opinion, I think it'd be an interesting scenario and also an intriguing story that you could tell. Jacob Fatu ultimately ends up hitting and beating Cody Rhodes. I don't see that happen. But I'm speaking about Cody Rhodes and all that kind of stuff. We go back to the Undisputed Championship tournament. This time it's Damian Priest for the Solo Sikoa, where we ultimately see Damian Priest picking up the victory. But that's also because the White Six comes out and tries to take back their lantern from the MFTs in Solo Sikoa. After the MFTs basically, beat the crap out of Damian Priest, leading the crowd thinking it's Damian go lose. Well, of course not, because, bro, have you seen Solo be a Solo champion? No. Ever since Solo went on his Solo run, he's literally been still with groups. I digress. Well, I mean, at one point he was the state champion, so I take that back. But still, he hasn't been a world champion at my point, unless you count it. But yeah, Riot and the Fear come out, take back their LED lanterns, beats up the MFTs in Solo Sikoa, and that allows Damian Priest to pick up the victory over Solo Sikoa 1-2-3. Damian Priest moves on to the Fatal 4-Way match happening next week at Saturday's main event in Montreal, Quebec, Canada. The reason why I say that, very soon you'll find out. After that match, you had the recently impeached United States Women's Champion President Chelsea Green come out to do a proclamation or a declaration before she had a ultimate match between Jordan Grace. This is Jordan Grace's second match officially on the main roster, a part of the Blue Brand, a part of SmackDown. I say officially because she's been in a couple Royal Rumbles and a couple one-off matches here and there. So again, she's been on the main roster and showcased on the main roster, but this is her official second match being a part of the Blue Brand. Jordan Grace does eventually pick up the victory over Mitch Impeachment Green, which it was a very fast-paced match because the main event was coming up right after. And you had a brief promo segment where between the women's WWE champion Jade Cargill and the newly up-and-coming Jordan Grace. Jordan Grace holds Jade Cargill's belt. In my opinion, Jordan Grace good with the belt, but again, she looked, she was the women's TNA knockout champion, and she looked dang good with that belt as well. I can definitely see a world where Jordan Grace ends up beating Jade Cargill for the belt, if not Jade Cargill, then someone else. But do I actually see Jordan Grace becoming champion on her third or fourth match in the company? No, not really. I ultimately see Jade Cargill holding this belt towards Mania and having a match against Bianca Belair. I feel like that is the outcome for Jade Cargill, is to have a solo feud and match against Bianca. I feel like that's what the building towards that is. If Bianca Belair's medical surgeries can get under wraps, well, not under wraps, but can get fixed, and she can be healed. It's all counting if Bianca Belair can be healed. But again, I digress. That moves into the main event where you had Sami Zayn in a rematch against Ilja Dragunov, non-title this time. I say non-title because the first time these two met, it was for Sami's United States Championship in an excellent United States Champion Ultimate Challenge where Ilja Dragunov picked up the victory against Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn ends up winning this match. Sami Zayn ends up winning this match via pinfall, but right after Sami Zayn wins the match and declares himself as the fourth spot in entry into the Fatal 4-Way match to determine who's going to face and win, or who's going to face against Drew McIntyre at the Royal Rumble in Saudi Arabia. Which I do see Sami Zayn winning because, not winning true, but I can see him winning in Montreal, Quebec, Canada, going on to Saudi Arabia. Those two places, they love Sami. So afterwards, Trick Williams comes out and attacks Sami. I see big plan for Trick Williams in the future. I am so glad that Trick Williams ended up winning his favorite match. I feel like he's going to make the Fatal 4-Way a breath of fresh air, and I'm so excited for that Fatal 4-Way. Saturday night, main event will be up next Saturday. Oh, by the way, I did kind of forgot to mention before the main event, they did have a United States Open Challenge match between Leon Slater, the X-Division champion from TNA, facing off against Carmelo Hayes for the United States Championship. It was a good match, don't get me wrong, but why? Why are we having Leon Slater challenge for the belt? I didn't see Leon Slater picking up the win because I don't see the United States Championship, the SmackDown mid-card title, moving over to TNA. I'm sorry, I just didn't see it. It was a good match, don't get me wrong. They had their high-flying tricks, fast-paced action, rapid fast-paced action. I mean it because this match was fast-paced because this was the official match for Sami and Ilja. But yeah, I don't know why. I guess Leon to the United Kingdom to put Leon in front of more people's eyes. I guess that's why this match happened. I'm glad it happened because it was unseen, but again, why? But again, that was my recap of Friday Night SmackDown in United Kingdom, London. I really enjoyed this week's episode, and yeah, this is the third week going on our 3-hour trial run of SmackDown. I say trial run because they've done it before, and majority of the fan base, because the majority, they didn't really care for the 3-hour version of SmackDown in the past. Everyone thought WWE was lacking with the 3-hour SmackDown, and they put more commercials and advertisements and reruns. But this time around in 2026, doing 3 hours on the third week doing it, it has been a job well done. I ultimately enjoyed it, and again, I love the early time slot. Again, I just finished this review at 8:57. SmackDown is actually about to go off air for the Americans. 3 more minutes. I'm done with this. I'm done with the review already. I did this episode. Hey, everyone, you all have an amazing night. Now see you, Star Trek. Howdy ho, Guardian.